Conjuring, the first Conjuring movie, again, I'm very mixed in the Conjuring verse. My favorite is actually like the second Annabelle movie, the prequel sequel, which is pretty good by David F. Sandberg. But the original Conjuring, I think, is a very solid haunted house film. I think James Wan does a great job, even though we see a number of really familiar things, throughout the entire movie. I mean, it goes through all of it. But I like the family, what they're going through. It's pretty horrific. The house in itself is a character. I like it for that. And you like the Warrens, too. Even though, like, the real-life Warrens were most likely con artists, were con artists. The Vera Farmiga and, what's his name, who plays Mr. Warren in the film, they both do a great job. You buy them as a couple. And they're one of the strongest things about the franchise. Patrick Wilson, thank you, Mr. Harris. They're one of the things I think helps ground it. That helps make you feel invested in the story. So Conjuring is pretty solid to me. This is a good B. This is a good B. I'll put it right next to Saw. Right next to Saw. The fictional versions of them are so sweet. I love them. Yeah, definitely. Zombieland's a great comedy. Zombieland's a really good comedy. It has a great cast in Woody Harrelson and Abigail Breslin, Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg, who's pretty much the lead in the movie. Wonderful comedic sequences. I love the use of text for how they explain the world when it pops up on the screen for all the jokes. I think that's very great, very good. It's probably Ruben Fleischer's only good movie. Oh, yeah, Mr. Harris. Yeah, Ruben Fleischer's only good movie. Yeah. It's got a lot of fun stuff going on in it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. So Zombieland's pretty entertaining. I'll say this is an A. I'm gonna say this is an A. Now we're getting to the point where it's like, fuck, where did I even put this? I'll put it right there. Good entertaining A. I don't know what this is. This is Squiggles. I'm looking at Squiggles, chat. I don't know what that is. No idea. Squiggles, go there. Silent Hill. For a long time, I think a lot of people have said that this is one of the greatest video game adaptations. Theatrical adaptations, I suppose, of a video game. It's a solid movie. It's okay. I don't think it perfectly captures the video games all that well. But it does have some interesting moments in it. Good performances. They're committed. I like the first movie. I don't talk about that sequel. Oofa. Yeah. Silent Hill was all right story-wise. I never played the game, but still disappointing, not very scary. Yeah, I agree. This is an E for me. I'll put that in an E. I think that's reasonable. Birdemic. Oh, Birdemic's that next? Oh, shit. Yeah. Like the first movie I don't talk about, so yeah. Video game movie. For you, Vondra, really? Wow. Gremlins. Joe Dante's best film. He's been trying to remake the Gremlins for years, basically, or he's just made variations on Gremlins for years, for decades. But yeah, this is one of those amazing movies from the 80s. It's a family film with a bit of a dark streak, which was supposed to be even darker. But I just love the concept. It's a sleepy little Midwestern town during Christmas. It's a Christmas movie, and they just come to face this horde of little monsters, mischievous monsters that a lot of times murder a lot of people throughout the film. It's got some great puppetry, special effects. It's funny, it's weird, it's dark, it's gross. It's a perfect 80s family film. You got to have some darkness in there. You got to have some grossness in there. It just works so well. So Gremlins is a classic for me. I really, really love this movie. This is pretty high on my list. This is one I like to watch pretty much every single year. And again, it's also a little bit of Spielberg in there too. I mean, Steven Spielberg produced it. So yeah, Gremlins goes right next to Poltergeist. Love that movie. Hell yeah. It's a family horror film. Yeah. I love it. Let's see here. Okay. House on Haunted Hill. The original House on Haunted Hill is fucking great. An amazing haunted house movie. Yeah. But isn't Vincent Price? Vincent Price is in. Or wait, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Haunting on Hill House, aren't I? Haunting. Hold on, I want to make sure. House on Haunted. Oh no! It's a 1959 film. Vincent Price. Okay, I thought so. There's so many fucking haunted house movies that they all sound the goddamn same. This is the Vincent Price one. This is great. Great haunted house movie. One of the best ones of all time. Again, they do so much with so little. Really like it. Yeah, this one's pretty high for me. I'm gonna put this. This is also in A. I'm gonna put this in A. I'm gonna put you. You're gonna go right next to the Amityville Horror. You're gonna go right there. Nice and comfy. Hell yeah. Very good. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So let's go with the original 1951 film directed by Don Siegel. An amazing movie. This the whole concept, again, it's like this small town which is slowly taken over by this alien race, by these pod people. And the whole concept, I mean, it's perfect since this movie came out in the 1950s, during the Red Scare, everyone was afraid of communism. You had, of course, McCarthy coming in there. Of course, it's a wonderful allegory for what was going on at the time in the United States. And, of course, that film has a great legacy. Of course, you have the 1978 remake, which I love even more than the original film. But the original film and its storytelling, it holds up today. And the original ending for the movie was supposed to be much darker because you have our lead character who is like, you don't understand, they're spreading, they're here, and then that's how it was supposed to end. But then they brought the studio went, you can't end it this way. This is way too dark. And so they had, it's like, we'll stop the pod people. Yeah, we know where they are. We'll stop them and we'll get them. It's like, But how they originally intended to end it was much darker. But yeah, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, really goddamn good, iconic movie. This is also an A-tier film for me. I'm gonna put this right here next to Creature of the Black Lagoon. Really good movie. Jack Frost, dumb. Was this the one with Michael Keaton, or is this the horror one? Could be both, because the Michael Keaton movie is pretty goddamn scary as well. But Jack Frost, chat, pretty bad, but intentionally funny and unintentionally funny a lot of the times. I think this is a D. I'll put that. That's a nice D right there, chat. It's a nice movie to laugh. Snow Dad is better than No Dad. Brilliant. God, that movie was bad. Both of them are pretty bad. You're not wrong, but they are fun to laugh at. Austin TVs, I'm back, but I bet you're still. I know. I haven't finished this yet, Austin. I do want to switch back and forth because I'm capturing the screen here. So, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a horror film. It is an action sci-fi horror movie, and it's one of my favorite films of all time. One of my favorite Steven Spielberg movies of all time. It's just perfect in its execution. I mean, dinosaurs are monsters. They're not even technically dinosaurs in this movie because they're fucking with the DNA and they put in frog DNA and everything. And so that's why they don't have feathers, that they don't look like the way they should. But you have so many amazing characters, and Dr. Alan Grant, and Ian Malcolm, and of course, Hammond, spared no expense, right? Muldoon, Dennis Nedry, Dodson's here. Nobody cares. Of course, you have a terrific cast, but then just the dinosaurs themselves, especially with all the animatronics, like for the T-Rex and for the Velociraptors and all that, really cool, scary scenes, like when the T-Rex head crashes through the top of the car, is trying to get the kids. It's like, whoa, amazing. Or the Velociraptors, hunting them down inside the complex, the visiting center. So good. It's funny as hell, but it also has that spectacle. When you first see those dinosaurs, this is the first time we saw a film use CGI in this way in the early 90s, and it looks amazing, at the time. I mean, yeah, are some of the CGI effects dated? Sure. But it's aged incredibly well over time. And it's just one of my personal favorite movies, probably in my top 10. Great film. This is an S tier film, chat. S tier film. I'm gonna put this right next to Jaws. It goes right next to Jaws for me. Yeah, sci-fi horror adventure, definitely. Let's see here. Family being haunted by the ghost of the dead father by the snowman. They're both bonded. So they really are. They really are. It's really good. All right, we got a couple more left, chat. Piranha. Now, the original Piranha, directed by Joe Dante, is one of the best Jaws knockoffs of all time. It's funny. You have a great cast of character actors. You have some really good kills. It knows it's dumb, and it leans into that. So you have a lot of like intentional dumb humor in it. You have a lot of great direction in the movie too. Like you have these cute sequences where people are just trying to get the fuck out of the water. People getting dragged open, have these huge wounds across their bodies. It's pretty goddamn cool. It's a really fun film and one I want to show you guys because it's been a while since I've watched it. But I remember always really, really liking Piranha, and it's one of the best Jaws knockoffs out there. So Piranha's a pretty high B for me. I'm gonna put that right there. Thanksgiving. Not good. Very bad movie. Cheap as shit. Terrible acting. Terrible writing across the board. It has these moments, that are funny, certainly, but overall, not a good movie. What's his kind of what's his iconic line that he always says? Gobble, 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 motherfucker. That's what he says. That's right. And it's barely a movie. That's true. So, Thanksgiving is it's an F tier. I'll go right there. I'll go right there for Thanksgiving, right next to Troll. These are the F tiers. I just watched Jurassic Park as a kid. Both my parents hate that movie now. It's probably, I watched Jurassic Park so much as a kid. Both my parents hate the movie now. It's probably the movie I've seen the most. It's so good, man. Starring Samuel L. Jackson, the best ever. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're brown in that movie, you're going down. It's just how it is. Oh, Lordy. Although so many people do die in the film. That's true. My Bloody Valentine. The original My Bloody Valentine is really fun. We definitely got to do this for a watch party sometime. Again, a movie that is wearing its influences on its sleeve, but it's a fun film. I like My Bloody Valentine. I'm going to put this. This is a nice C ranking movie. I'll put it right there next to like Silent Night, Deadly Night, right there. OGC at best. Remake F. Oh yeah, the remake's pretty bad. Yeah, true. The random naked Pokemon to be. Oh yeah, things killing us. It's like what? What? The Descent. I fucking love The Descent. So I've talked about this quite often. The 2000s was a pretty rough period for I think for the horror genre in general. But there were, because since it was just so dominated by found footage, ghost movies, and a lot of torture porn, The Descent was kind of one of those outliers where it was very different. I love that it's a pretty much an all-woman cast for the most part, and they're spelunkers, and they have various issues, and they go and they spelunk, I think, in the hills and the mountains of West Virginia, and they encounter these weird subterranean bat monsters. These human bat monsters that can't see, but they have excellent hearing, and they eventually, prey upon these women who are trying to escape. It's a really good movie. I've always liked it. Love the lighting in the film. Great acting. Very goopy, very moist. Big fan of The Descent. One of the best horror movies of the 2000s. So this is going to go pretty high on my list. I actually really like this film. I'm going to put it I'll put it right here. Put it right there in A. I like that. Sharktopus. I've actually never seen Sharktopus. I know of it. I know that Sci-Fi Channel's done many sequels and things, but I've actually never seen it. So I'm going to go put that in don't know, don't remember. The Mummy. So I'm going to say this is let's see here. Is this because the text is the Brendan Fraser Mummy, which there are moments of it where it is a horror movie. Like that whole sequence when the scarabs crawl into the guy's head and eat his brain slowly over time until he kills himself. He runs into that wall. Like it has these kind of weird, scary moments. It's also the best Indiana Jones movie we got since Last Crusade, and still is technically the best Indiana Jones movie since then. Even 25 years going on. It's a fun movie. It's over the top. It's goofy. Brendan Fraser, I think, is great in the film. Rachel Weisz, I think, is very good. You have some number of character actors, I think, do a really good job. Imhotep is great. Yeah, the only thing about it is just that the CGI is super dated by this point, and there's some just goofy moments, but I think some of those are intentional. Mummy's really fun. I like Mummy a lot. I'm gonna put the Mummy in B. Mummy's a good B tier movie. I'm gonna put this right next to Tremors. That goes right there. Good movie. Happy Death Day. I fucking love Happy Death Day. Yes, it's Groundhog's Day, except it's more of a horror scenario. But I like the lead actress. I think she's very charming, and she becomes more likable over time as she's just trying to figure out like who this killer is and why this killer keeps murdering her. It's a great murder mystery. The kills themselves, I think, are very entertaining. I mean, it's very, very funny. Yeah, Happy Death Day is really great, and I like the sequel too. I know they've been wanting to make a third one for quite some time. Happy Death Day rocks. Agreed, Kaz. Agreed. Happy Death Day is pretty entertaining. This is a very high B for me. I'll put, actually, you know what? I like it because I don't think there's no really issues with the movie, honestly. I think this is an A for me. I really like Happy Death Day. I'll put this, you know what? Happy Death Day and Zombieland, go ahead and share some love of each other. There you go. O'Connell, we have all the horses. What's O'Connell's line afterwards? What was he saying? It's like, oh, well, too bad you're on the wrong side of the river. I love that meme. That's great. Roz. I don't know what this is. I don't know, Roz. That goes in. Don't know. Don't remember. 47 meters down. Dumb shark movie. The only thing I remember from this movie is how one of the sharks is killed. Other than that, just, it's another Jaws knockoff. Another Jaws knockoff. So 47 meters down this is F. That's an F for me. Unfriended. Oh God, Unfriended. Is that the one where it's like people are like communicating over Skype? Yeah, that's the one. That's the Skype movie. Uh-huh. This movie's pretty bad. This also is an F. But you're pretty high on the F list. There you go. Frankenstein, 1931's Frankenstein, directed by James Whale. Incredible adaptation. Yes, very different from Mary Shelley's original novel, but still amazing. Very well shot. Wonderful use of lighting. Boris Karloff as the monster is great. Wonderful supporting cast. I forget the actor who plays Doctor. I forget what his name is. I think his name is Victor Frankenstein in the book, but in the movie he's Henry Frankenstein. Also really good. It's alive. Like all that. You have Fritz in the movie, who's the hunchback. Not Igor. Igor doesn't come until Son of Frankenstein. But yeah, Frankenstein. Oh, Frankenstein is amazing. So Frankenstein, definitely, that's got to go up there. That's like right alongside shit like Creature from the Black Lagoon and things. Just really, really good. God, maybe I had to go higher. I'll put an A. Frankenstein. Yeah, I accidentally skipped the line. My mistake. I got it. I didn't realize it. Oh, let's see here. Unfriended was great and how it was shot, but yeah, it's assholes you're waiting to see die. Happy Death Day is like a Pixar made a horror comedy, pretty much becomes two buddies where one of them realizes how much of a jerk they've been and they become a better person. But that's true. I like it. Positive ending. Didn't see how Horses and Mirrors down from what I've read online. It's pointless, yeah. All right. Going back to the first line. Quarantine. It's okay. It's the American remake of Wreck, which is better. So much of it is just shot for shot, but just the characters I think are just more unlikable. Quarantine, I don't know. It's just kind of pointless, honestly. It doesn't even really need to exist. Fuck it. I don't know. I'll put it in F. Just unnecessary. Sinister, I think, is solid. I think Ethan Hawke does a pretty good job in the movie. The thing is, the marketing for that film kind of ruined it a little bit for me, since they put all the like big kills, which are seen in these VHS tapes that Ethan Hawke is watching over time, which he learns are all committed by these children who are trying to summon this demon creature, this biblical creature or something. But it's a solid film. Sequel's bad. But Sinister's okay. Sinister I'll put right here. Put that in D. Cash, you like Sinister a lot? Yeah. Cortez is the one that doesn't have Pretzel Man. Yeah, that's true. Was that? Yeah, it was Deb from Dexter. Yeah, his sister. Definitely. The Strangers, it's so funny. I just, a couple weeks ago, reviewed The Strangers Chapter 1, and it just felt like it's like unnecessary remake of the first movie. Apparently the first film is well-liked, and I'm just one of those people that just didn't really care for it all that much. I don't know. I just found it very unremarkable. And I love home invasion movies, but yeah, this one just didn't really stand out to me. I mean, yes, it is better than the new one that just came out, no doubt. But it's just, I just don't really care for this movie at all. So yeah, for me, I don't know. I'll put it in E. Don't care for it. Black Xmas. So this is not the original Black Christmas. I think this is one of the remakes. And if this is the first, actually, I don't know if this is the first remake. Black Xmas. I'm not sure. The remake of Black Xmas fucking sucks. Now, if we're going with classic Black Christmas, that'd be different. Very important slasher film. Funny enough, directed by the same guy who also did Christmas Story. Two very different Christmas movies, but this is the remake, then fuck this movie. This movie fucking sucks. This movie is really goddamn bad. Just awful, awful, awful. Yeah. It's the first remake in 2019 one is somehow worse. Amazing. Pet Sematary, it's so funny. The Pet Sematary book is so good, but like all the adaptations are been like, okay, like the original adaptation is the best one. It's definitely the best one. But it's just not nearly good as the book. It has some great moments. Sometimes that is better. Like, I love that, all that. You know, the little kid's kind of creepy, but at the same time, very silly. The stuff of the sister, Zelda, is creepy and interesting. But yeah, Pet Sematary for me, like, it's entertaining. It's an entertaining movie. I'll put it, it's a C. It's a C for me. I'll go with C. Black Christmas is such a smart film. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Black Christmas is great. Sierra Spa, green salutations. Hope you're living long and prospering. Good to see you. Just doing this ranking of horror films. We're almost done. I know this has been going on for a while. I know it's almost midnight now at this point. Oh, my Lord. But don't worry. We're going to get to all the rest of the stuff tonight. Thank you again, guys, for all your patience. I really do appreciate it. Ghostbusters, I guess it's technically like a horror comedy. Ghostbusters is a great movie. No doubt about that. I just look at it more as a fantasy comedy, but it does, I guess, have some creepy horror moments in it. But a great movie, certainly a great movie. Don't really think of it as being a very scary film, but it's very well done. So yeah, I'll put Ghostbusters in A. I like all these other ones. I think a little bit more. How you doing tonight, Cedar Spock? Hope you're doing well. Especially with the Carrie movies, they each have pieces of what makes the book great, but not the whole. Fair enough. What a coincidence. I was just watching the Post-Exorcist the past. Oh, what'd you think of it, man? Did you like the parts where Russell Crowe is riding around his scooter? AVP. Okay, now listen. The original Alien vs. Predator is dumb. But I think you can make an argument it's the third best Alien movie. It's not the worst Predator movie. And it's certainly better than its sequel. To me, this is like a big, dumb wrestling match. That's what Alien vs. Predator is. And it could have been worse, and it did get worse, and we saw that. I can understand people saying that this movie sucks. I totally get that, but I don't hate this film. But it is very, very flawed. I'll put AVP. AVP is a nice D movie. Actually, I'll even put it above. I'll put it right there. There you go. A Haunted House. I don't think I've ever seen this. I think it's a horror comedy. I think it's like kind of like scary movie. Never seen this. Put that and don't remember. Goosebumps. I like the first Goosebump movie with Jack Black. That was really good. I had a lot of fun. That's a really nice kids family film. So this will go fairly high. I think I'll put this at a nice I'll put that at a nice C right there. Goosebumps, right next to Scary Movie. That's the Marlon Wayans movie. Oof. No, thank you. The Dentist. I've never seen The Dentist. I'll put that right there. The Shining. It's probably my favorite Stanley Kubrick movie. It's one of my favorite supernatural horror films. It's a great, the Stephen King book is very different from the actual movie. I mean, matter of fact, he hates it, and has often said that. But I just love the way it's shot. The cinematography is gorgeous. It's a very different way to film a haunted house movie because it's very well lit, very wide shots in this huge retreat, this huge hotel. Jack Nicholson's the entire cast performance I think is very good, but Jack Nicholson, of course, is the standout. I love him as Jack Torrance in the movie. Yeah, The Shining is an S tier for me, an iconic horror film, and one that I think everyone should check out when they have the opportunity. So this is pretty high. I'll put this put that right there. Put The Shining right there. This is another horror movie I rented a lot as a kid. Oh yeah. Oh my God, The Dentist. It was around the time of stuff like Dr. Giggles. You think it would be fun for a watch party, Edgy? Seeing fine, okay, dentist movie. 20 Days Later. I know they're not zombies, but they're zombies. It's a zombie film. Gave us fast zombies, I think, for the first time. They can book in this movie. I think probably the first movie that I saw Cillian Murphy in. And apparently he's returning now for 28 years later, which is so exciting that we're going to be getting another entry in this franchise. But yeah, I love its location. And I think just the fact that they were able to shoot what they could shoot, basically were able to shut down certain parts of London for those scenes is amazing. It helps ground it because, it feels real because it was. Liked all that. Very bloody, very graphic. Brendan Gleeson's also in, does a really great job. Yeah, I guess these are the first running zombies. So that makes it, that's the thing when you watch it. Like, I think we can survive in a world of slow zombies. It's an inconvenience, but we can deal with it. Fast zombies, we're fucked. We're fucked. That's just how it is. And 28 Days Later, they showed that. Really, really good zombie flick. So this is going in A for me. I really like 28 Days Later. I'll put that right there in A. After that, we got the original Dracula, Bela Lugosi. I mean, what more can you say? Even though we did have other vampire films beforehand, like Nosferatu, but Dracula popularized it. For many people, it was their introduction to vampires, and it's a good one to start with. It's not my favorite vampire movie, but there's no denying its incredible legacy. So it's gonna go right next to stuff like Frankenstein, Creature Lagoon. I think I probably like those other two films better, but Dracula's right there in A. You're still yapping? I've taken my time with this list. I'm sorry, Nye. I'm sorry. I know. My apologies. I know it's late. I know. All right. House of Dark Shadows. Unless that's the series, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. Birdemic listen, Birdemic is funny, but it sucks. It sucks. Birdemic is pretty bad. Birdemic is, for comedy, yes, but if we're judging it as a horror film, awful. awful movie. Birdemic, it kind of goes right next to Things Killing for me. Goes right next to Things Killing. Bikini Bloodbath, never seen it. Never seen Bikini Bloodbath. I don't know what to add to that. House of a Thousand Corpses, I don't like Rob Zombie. I'm not a fan of him. So this is an F for me. F for 1,000. House of a Thousand Corpses. You can go right next to Hostel. There you go. Wolf Creek. Never seen it. I don't know. The Boy. Bad movie. Very bad movie, but very funny. Very funny. I love the Brahms. This is an E for me. An entertaining E. Very entertaining E. Creep's really good. What's his name? I forget what's his name, who's the lead in this film. Highly recommend Creep. I'll put this up here. This is a nice damn it. Duplass, yeah, that's his name. Mike Duplass? Mike Duplass. Creep will go. Creeper, you're a nice solid B. I'll put you right there. All right. Malevolence. I've never seen it. Grizzly is one of the many Jaws knockoffs, except instead of a shark, it's a bear. Very entertaining 1970s horror film. Got Christopher George in it. Just a great, B movie action hero. I love that. I do have an affection for this film. So I'm gonna put Grizzly. Grizzly, you're gonna go right next to Basket Case. You'll go right next to Basket Case. I love Man versus Bear. Love Man versus Bear. The Babysitter. I don't think I've ever seen this one. I've never seen The Babysitter, so I'm gonna put that in. Don't know. Hollow Man, which is one of several '90s Invisible Man inspired films. Of course, you have Kevin Bacon basically as the Invisible Man. I haven't seen this movie in a while. I remember liking it fine. It's not great by any stretch, but I had fun with it. I love that ending scene when he falls. Iconic. So I'll put you right there. Yeah, you know what? You can go right next to Anaconda. Oh man, you go next to Anaconda. See No Evil. This movie fucking sucks. This is with the wrestler Kane, I think. Horrible movie. I saw this when I was I think this came out like the mid-2000s, I want to say. Awful film. This goes, I don't know. We'll put you right there. Put you right there. See No Evil. Get out of here. Grave Encounters. Never seen it. I've actually never seen Dead Snow. I've never seen Dead Snow of the Zombie Nazis. I'll need to check that out one day. Salem's Lot I like Salem's Lot. It's more like a mini-series, though, than a movie. It's like 4 hours. But I know that they're releasing, I think, a new Salem's Lot this year, but it's going straight to streaming. I hope that's not like a bad sign. But I remember liking the original Salem's Lot. It's not perfect, but it's fun. This is, you know what? You can go right next to Pet Sematary, right there. So, actually, no, you're a little bit better. You're a little bit better than Hollow Man. There you go. Witchboard, never seen it. Don't Breathe. Now listen, Don't Breathe. I think a lot of people like this movie, and I totally understand as to why. I think on a technical level, it's very well shot. I think Fede Alvarez does a great job. I think the first half is stronger than the second half. I like it that you don't know who to cheer for in this movie, like at all. Until you can go back and forth and you can debate until you find out he is a rapey monster who has somehow been able to kidnap this woman despite being. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like I can buy the fact that he knows every nook and cranny of his home despite being blind, because of course a blind person would. They would know that, right? But you're telling me he somehow was able to get out there and kidnap this person, bring them there, and then put his cum in the microwave and get her what? And then at that point, it's not a back and forth. It's like, oh, who do I cheer for in this situation? It's like, well, this guy's just a fucking monster. I can't cheer for this guy. And they just turn him into Daredevil in the sequel one. I think for a lot of people they put high. I don't know. I'm very mixed on this movie. And so I'll put this. I don't know. I'll put this in D. Don't Breathe. House. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. I'm not familiar with it. The Messengers. I don't think I've ever seen that one. The Stepfather of Terry O'Quinn. That's a fun one. That's fun. Naya, you actually just, I think, watched some of these movies recently. I like The Stepfather. Yeah, let's go with the one with Terry O'Quinn from Lost. I like this film. This is a good one. I'll put this. This is a nice B. House is Buck-Ass Wild. Ooh. House 86 is one of my favorite supernatural horror comedies. Oh, okay. I've never seen it. Chud, again. This is a pretty fun B horror comedy. Has a hell of a cast. I know John Goodman's in it. Viper Fox, witness me, Viper. How you doing, Viper? Welcome. We're just doing a little ranking of some horror movies. Long list. Super long. I think I added too much to it. Witness, I'm witnessing you. The music will kick in just a second. But good to have you here, Viper. Thank you so much for sharing your community with mine. How you doing? I hope you've been having a very nice evening. We're just doing all these challenges for the biddy-thons. We hit every single goal tonight. It's been awesome. It's been amazing so far. Oh, it's been great. It's been a great stream. People have been so kind, so sweet, so generous, so good to see. Chat, please be sure to check out Viper Fox's channel. Give her some love. Give her some support. She absolutely deserves it. Chud, though. Chud's a great film. I'm going to put Chud's... There it is! Witness! Witness me! Hell yeah. I love it. Thank you so much, Vipervox, and so good to have you. And thank you for resubscribing. 27 months, well over 2 years of incredible support. No, like I said, it's so great to have you here, Viper. Thank you again for sharing your community with mine. Chat, again, if you have not followed Viper or subscribed to her or checked out her streams, please go ahead and do so. What were you playing? What was on your docket today? Were you doing some more artwork? Playing some video games? Sussing and stabbing? Let me know. Let me know. All right. Doing Tekken 8 Fight Night. Very nice. Nice. Hope it was super fun. Again, good to have you here. We're almost done with this latest challenge. Again, chat. We're almost done with the horror movie tier list. Then we're going to do the popular anime character smash and pass. And then we're doing the sad Herman sandwich abomination. And then we're going to do our watch parties. Quiet Place and Hell Comes to Frogtown, which would be super fun. But let me go ahead and get back to this right now. Boom. We're almost done. Chud, a very entertaining movie. This is gonna go. This is a nice funny D. Nice funny D. I'll put you right there. I can't even say this. Necromantic? No idea what that is. That goes in. I don't know. The Prophecy. I don't think I've ever seen that. Darkman. Sam Raimi's Darkman. Fun film. Obviously he incorporates a lot of his sense of humor into it. The horror aspects. Of course, that without Darkman, I don't think we would have gotten his Spider-Man film. So I like the original Darkman. It's not perfect, but it's a fun movie. I'll put this. I'll put this as a nice B. Might be next to The Stepfather. The Toxic Avenger. God, it's been a long time since I've seen The Toxic Avenger. Aren't they remaking it? I don't know if there was a remake out already or if it's about to be released. I'm not sure. But, yeah, great, very entertaining B-movie. So Toxic Avenger, I'll put that in a very respectable high C. I think that's fair. Waxworks, I have never seen. I don't know. Contracted, I don't know what that is. Chrome Skull, don't know what that is. Extra, which I have seen. I think we did either I did that for a review or we did it for a watch party. Very weird movie. Basically, I think it takes place in the UK. A husband and father ends up being abducted by aliens, and eventually he comes back as like an alien, like mutie creature, and he ends up like attacking this woman and impregnates her, but he impregnates her with himself. And she ends up birthing, her belly gets so big, she ends up birthing like an adult man, right? That's like the most iconic scene in the movie. And then he finds his family, and he slowly just tries to turn them into, like, mutie alien abominations. And it's kind of fucking dark, to be honest. Very weird film. There's like a random dwarf. Like, the aliens have these powers where they can manipulate and shape matter and reality around them. And the son, who's given this power, he creates, like, all these terrifying scenarios for him, like, for the people that cross his path. And he has, like, this dwarf that dresses as a clown who carries out some, like, of his horrific actions. It's a very weird film. So I'm gonna say this is a D. See, one I encourage you guys to watch. There you go. Invisible Man, iconic. James Whale again. James Whale, of course, directed Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. But in between those, he also directed Invisible Man. Claude Rains is excellent as his character. This is one of my favorite Universal monster horror movies. The special effects are kind of like, for the time. I think this movie came out in 1933. It's mind-blowing what they were able to do. It was just kind of shocking what they were able to do. And of course, when he's not invisible, which they use all sorts of tricks for that and everything. But like how they show him where he's just in the suit, but he doesn't even have the bandages on. It looks so good. It holds up. But then with the bandages and the goggles, I mean, we've seen that time and time again. And it's a great adaptation of H.G. Wells' original novel. And, of course, we've gotten some amazing Invisible Man movies over the years. Most recently, with 2020 Invisible Man. So, Invisible Man's definitely high on my list. Again, I think right there of stuff like Dracula, Creature of the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein. Wonderful movie. Here we go, Chip. We got 2 more. Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood is a really entertaining anthology horror film. I know that there's been sequels, but this first one, I think, is a lot of people's favorite. Who's the guy who plays the tall teller, the tale teller in it? The guy who's telling all these stories. He's also kind of the narrator. It turns out he's actually the devil himself. He's Satan. Welcome, yeah, of course, that's, Keith David. Welcome to hell, motherfucker. Iconic. Who's that guy? Clarence Williams III. He's great. It's like throughout that film, he just gets sweatier and more frantic. His gap keeps expanding. He does a great job. Tales from the Hood is a very fun movie. I'm going to say this is a really solid B for me. I like this movie quite a bit. Yeah, that's a nice B. And the last one, chat, it's so appropriate too, A Quiet Place. I've talked about how much I've loved The Quiet Place just today, during my review for A Quiet Place day 1. Of course, it's a wonderful creature feature. I love the general premise where it's a post-apocalyptic environment. Majority of humanity has been wiped out by these creatures who are very sensitive to sound. We follow this family who has an advantage over a lot of people because their daughter's deaf, so they all know sign language, and so they're able to live a relatively quiet and productive existence despite the presence of these creatures in upstate New York, wherever they're specifically living. But of course, problems ensue, and they have to deal with the creatures once again. It's a great movie. You have wonderful characters. This really put John Krasinski on the map, I think, as a director for a lot of people. He did things before this, but this one was just like, whoa. And I think, A Quiet Place and just the films that have come out afterwards, Quiet Place Part 2, most recently Day 1, it's been really good. So, Quiet Place, very, very high on my list right now. I'm going to go ahead and put a very high A tier. Very, very high A tier, but perhaps it could eventually be an S tier, chat. I think this movie is great. Love it. And there it is. We did all the films. Yeah, we had a lot. And I feel like, looking at my S tier, Alien, The Thing, Jurassic Park, Jaws, Scream, Silence of the Lambs, The Fly, The Shining, The Exorcist, Halloween, Night of the Living Dead, Psycho, Blade, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for S. Yeah. That's pretty good for S. I like that. I'm sure I had a couple of controversial picks. I think you look at like F tier, Quarantine, 47 Meters Down, Friended, Birdemic, Things Killing, Troll, Urban Legend, Puppet Master, Boogeyman, Hostel, See No Evil, House of Thousand Corpses, Ouija, Activity, Black Xmas, Jeepers Creepers. There's quite a few that I have not seen. I was unfamiliar with some of these movies, but I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. There you go, chat. And I go, thank you for your patience. I know I wasn't a fan of Puppet. I'm just not a fan of Puppet Master. Just wasn't my jam. Wasn't my jam. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for